Hey guys, it's Kylie, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the best park to go to in Disney World. With the new parks reservation system that's going on, you can't be park hopping, so I thought it'd be fun to share the pros and cons of each park and which park you should be going to based on some of your preferences and what you're trying to get out of your Disney vacation. I think it's ever so important to understand what each park offers and which will make your vacation the best. But if you guys enjoy Disney videos and Disney content, definitely hit the subscribe button, turn the bell so you get notified every time I upload, as I post tons of Disney content on this channel. So I'm just going to go through the 4 parks and give the pros and cons, and at the end kind of give my opinion on which parks you should choose for your parks reservations. So the park we're going to start off with is Hollywood Studios. So I would say Hollywood Studios is on the smaller side, so there's not as much to do. However, with the opening of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and Star Wars Land, there's a lot of rides to go on. It was definitely turning into a half-day park, but I feel like it's starting to turn at least into a 3/4 day park, if not a full day park. There is lots you can do. It is hard right now with all the shows closed, as those added a lot to the day, so you can't be going to Frozen Ever After, the Beauty and the Beast show, but there is some awesome things you can still do in the parks. You do have all the cavalcades, so Hollywood Studios has a few different cavalcades. They have a Mickey and Friends one, a Disney Junior one, and a Pixar one, so you definitely see some awesome characters that you won't see in some of the other parks. You do also have Star Wars Land, and Star Wars Land itself is such a cool experience. Between Rise of the Resistance, which I would definitely recommend getting a boarding group for, you also have Smuggler's Run. It's so cool to even just walk around. The characters are still out, so you still get to see some of the Stormtroopers, Rey, Chewbacca. They're still out, and everybody's so in character. Even the cast members are so in character in that land that I think it's definitely an awesome experience, and I could spend hours in Star Wars Land just checking out all the detail and everything. It's so cool to see. You got the lightsabers, the droids. You are still able to build a droid. You can't build your old lightsaber right now, but you are still able to build a droid, which is a super cool experience, so I would definitely recommend that. You do also have Toy Story Land, another 3-ride area that is very well themed. You got Mania, Slinky Dog, and the waits for these are very short, so you're able to go on a ride like Slinky Dog with not a long wait. And then you also have the brand new ride of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which I would definitely recommend. I was able to ride it right after it opened, right before all the parks closed. I think it's a super awesome ride. It's very cute, and I would definitely recommend it. I think there is also, you have the classic Tower of Terror Rock and Roll roller coaster. Hollywood Studios rides definitely is a pro. There is some areas in Hollywood Studios that are kind of like, there's not much going on in Muppets Land. There is some areas that you could social distance and go other places, though kind of the con right now is the lack of the shows being open. A big part of Hollywood Studios is the different shows, the character meet and greets like Star Wars Launch Bay, Disney Junior show, all of those are closed, so I definitely think that's a con right now. There isn't those areas that you can just sit and relax for an hour. They're all closed, so it's harder to find places to do that. You kind of need to just go sit somewhere. There's not the same sitting areas that you would have being entertained during a show. The next park is Epcot. So there's pros to this. There's so many awesome rides, and a con to this is the construction. On the pro side, you have Frozen Ever After, Soarin', Spaceship Earth still open, Test Track. There is a lot of awesome rides that you're able to go to. Another pro is the festival. So they decided to start with this mini festival called Taste of Food and Wine. So it's part food and wine, part flower and garden. So it's a lot of the food offerings from Flower and Garden. They do have some new food offerings for food and wine. It's like a mini version of the festival. So not all the booths are open, but there's still some awesome opportunities to get access to some of the awesome food that they have during the festivals. So I would definitely recommend that. And food and wine will be opening very soon for the full food and wine. So I would definitely recommend, that's definitely a pro for the park. A con is there's so much construction. Future World is literally a construction mess right now. You can't even go straight through the Future World because everything in the middle is a construction mess. You have to walk way around the outside to get to anything. World Showcase is really where it's at right now, where everything else is construction. You got rides that are under construction, rides that keep going down, restaurants under construction. There's so much construction going on that really the park has turned into these 2 sides. You got like Test Track and Mission Space, and then you got Soarin', and then you have World Showcase. You don't really have anything in Future World, so that's definitely a con right now. There's so many construction projects going on. It definitely shrinks what there is in the park, and it makes it harder to get to some of the things in the park because you have to go so far around and you used to be able to go like straight from Test Track to Soarin'. Now you have to go so far out of the way that it's definitely a con and takes a little bit longer to get everywhere. Another pro is it does have some awesome restaurants on top of the food and wine. However, a lot of them are still closed because of the lower capacity. They're not getting the numbers they need to keep some of the restaurants open, and a lot of the international workers were sent home when this all started, so some of the countries are definitely low on workers, so there's plenty of restaurants that aren't open. So the festival booths are definitely like the pro, but there is some other restaurants to go to, so that's kind of a pro and a con, that there is some awesome restaurants in Epcot. However, a lot of them are still closed. The next park is Animal Kingdom. Kingdom, and I think right now Animal Kingdom is definitely the park that has had the lowest wait times and has been the most empty. I think that's because of how large it is. You're able to spread out, see the different animals. Flight of Passage just has like a 5-minute wait, so that's definitely a pro. You're able to ride an awesome ride for such a little wait. Usually people are waiting 3 hours for it, and you're able to wait literally 5 minutes. Now Big River Journey's had a short ride, and this is a fun one to walk around to see all the different animals. When there's not a lot of people, you're able to just stand and watch some of the animals more in their like natural actions, seeing like the monkeys, the tigers, everything. It's super fun to watch that. Go on the safari. The animals have definitely been learning how to roam free a little bit more and not worry about the people, where the people weren't there for so long. So that's definitely an awesome thing to do in Animal Kingdom. One con is the size. It is definitely a large walking park. This is definitely a harder park with little kids because there's a lot of walking. People love to see the animals, but the walking is a con. You have to walk so far to see some of the animal treks, and they're so far out of the way. The park is huge. This is definitely the biggest Disney park, so that can be a con, but I still think Animal Kingdom's very open right now and adds a lot of space. Another con is Dino Land. It's kind of like a dead space right now. One of the rides is closed until further notice. They're going to be changing it. You have Dinosaur. All the little games that you could play in Dino Land are closed. Dinosaur is really the only thing that's up. You also have Triceratops Spin, but it's really just Dumbo and nobody's really riding it. The restaurant over there is closed. So Dino Land right now is kind of just like closed off area. It's just empty. So I definitely think that's a con to Animal Kingdom, where in some of the other parks all the areas are open. I would definitely say it's the park that has had the lowest wait times. So you definitely have a chance to stay distance from people and be able to get on some awesome rides. The fourth park, which is Magic Kingdom, definitely has lots of pros. It's the classic park. It's the first park. You get to see the castle. If you've never been to Disney, I would definitely recommend this. But even with the lower capacity, some of the wait times at Magic Kingdom have been crazy because everybody wants to go to Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom's the most popular park. Everybody wants to be there. And it does also have some cavalcades. Actually, both Epcot and Animal Kingdom have some awesome cavalcades around them, just like Hollywood Studios. But everybody wants to be at Magic Kingdom. For a little bit, they had short wait times, but now the wait times are getting up to more what they normally are. So I'd definitely be aware of that it is busy. It's definitely the busiest parks with the new opening systems than any of the other parks. The other con to it is you don't get to see the fireworks in the main parade. I love Festival Fantasy and I love Happily Ever After, and the cavalcades are cool and being able to get to see the characters in that way, but I think it's definitely missing the fireworks show. So much of that was the show, and you're not able to do like the stage shows, the parade, the fireworks, so that's definitely a con to Magic Kingdom. But it is classic. You have so many awesome classic rides that you're able to go on. There's also some stores and stuff that are closed. Restaurants, like I said, there's many that are closed, but it's definitely an awesome place. You got the classic rides that you're able to see. So with the new parks reservation system, if I only had one day to go to the parks, and this was my first trip ever to Disney, I would go to Magic Kingdom. Even though it's busy, it's the classic, you get to see the castle. If I had more than one day, and this wasn't my first trip, if I personally was going, I would go to Epcot and Hollywood Studios, and then Animal Kingdom. I'd actually might avoid Magic Kingdom just because of how busy it is. The other three parks are so much more quiet. You're able to get on the rides so much easier. I would definitely recommend that. But if you have one day and it's your first time, go to Magic Kingdom. And then I would say my second park, I would actually say probably Animal Kingdom or Hollywood Studios for my second park. If you've never been, I would actually avoid Epcot right now where it's so much construction. I would focus on the rides and everything that you can see. Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom, you'd be able to see so much more than you would at Epcot currently, where there is so much construction. But definitely let me know in the comments down below which is the one park you would choose with the new parks reservation system if you only had one day to go to the parks, both if it was your first time going, and for all those like us that have gone a million times, which park you would personally choose. I definitely think it's totally up to what you want to see, but if you're the first time going there, I would definitely recommend going to Magic Kingdom. And even though the wait times are longer, I would still recommend it, and then I would recommend Animal Kingdom or Hollywood Studios as my secondary park. So I hope you guys liked this video. I just thought I'd give some of the pros and cons of the different parks when you're trying to figure out which parks you want to go to with the new reservation system. If you liked it, hit that like button and subscribe to see more Disney videos, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!